Good morning, Ron, and good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, May 6th. Here's what's happening. President Trump is pressing pause on Project Freedom in the hope of reaching an agreement with Iran. In the operation, the Navy was escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Trump said the request to pause it came from Pakistan and other countries to see if an agreement with Iran can be reached. Trump said the U.S. blockade on Iran would remain in full force and effect. Iran called Project Freedom a violation of the current ceasefire. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says his upcoming meeting with Pope Leo is not meant to smooth things over between the pontiff and the president. Mark Mayfield has more.
While filling in for Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt while she's on maternity leave, Rubio insisted his upcoming trip was planned before the recent back and forth between Leo and President Trump.
No, look, there's a lot to talk about with the Vatican. I'll give you one example. The Pope just returned from a trip to Africa, where the church is growing very vibrantly. And we have shared concerns about religious freedom in different parts of the world. We'd love to talk to them about that.
Rubio says he plans to talk to the Pope about getting humanitarian aid to Cuba through the church and other topics. Pope Leo has been critical of the U.S. military operations in Iran, leading Trump to claim that Leo thinks it's just fine for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The suspected gunman in the White House Correspondents Association dinner is being indicted on 4 charges. Cole Thomas Allen is facing charges for attempting to assassinate President Trump, assaulting an officer or employee of the United States with a deadly weapon, and 2 other firearms-related charges. Prosecutors have said in court filings the attack was an act of political violence and noted the president was the target of the attack. The 31-year-old alleged gunman has agreed to remain detained ahead of the trial, but has not yet entered a plea. A priest in Vancouver, British Columbia, says he was offered medical assistance in dying twice while in the hospital recovering from a hip fracture. The BC Catholic reports that Father Larry Holland is 79 and convalescing following a fall in his home on Christmas. Vancouver Coastal Health, which runs the hospital he is in, said, quote, staff may consider bringing up medical assistance in dying based on their clinical judgment, provided they possess the necessary knowledge and skills to do so. Father Holland, who is also the Archdiocese of Vancouver's pro-life chaplain, said he told his physicians he's opposed to euthanasia. The incidents come as Canada approaches 100,000 physician-assisted suicides. And one of the world's oldest bishops has died. Bishop Rene Henry Garcia was a U.S. Army Air Corps tail gunner in World War II before becoming a priest in 1959. He was appointed bishop by Pope Paul VI in 1971 and served multiple U.S. dioceses. He was 102. And that is the news this morning. I'm Matthew Handley. Back we go to Toledo. Here's Ron, Dave, and Pat.